The D800 and D800E are a couple of years old now, which means a little mild makeover in the form of the D810. It's designed to fill in the gaps that the D800E didn't quite fill in.
So Nikon has finally updated the D800 and replaced it with the D810. It's not a big number change, just a small one. So what is the difference? Well, today we're going to compare it to the D800E. But first of all, I've got the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge for the D810.
Yeah, it's weather sealed.
It's time to donate $10 now. So why are we comparing to the D800E? Well, you probably know if you're looking at these two cameras because you're most likely a photo geek. But the D800E, it was introduced at the same time as the D800. The benefit of the D800E was that it supposedly didn't have an AA filter. The only problem was that it did have an AA filter. It's just that they used some kind of technology to cancel out the effects of the AA filter. But this really doesn't have an AA filter. In terms of how the camera actually feels, it doesn't actually feel any different. But that's why it's the D810, not the D900.
There's new stuff inside, not so much on the outside.
No, can't see a difference. Oh yeah, just here. Big difference. Oh, and there. Oh, and the buttons on the front, slightly different. They've gone for the round look over the square look.
The minor button alterations don't change much for the good or bad in terms of functionality.
Well, how do they compare in terms of robustness? D800? D810?
Yep, body seems tough enough to take a little tumble on grass.
Kind of same. But one of the key differences is that the D810, oh, stupid name, isn't it? The D810 now has 1 FPS more. But the really key thing is that it's got group area AF, which is a seriously cool feature that was seen in the D4S. Let me show you. Not that you can see, but ready.
For this test, we need a not always predictable moving subject.
Always fuck. It's like Titanic on 3 wheels. Iceberg. Oh! The two things that you're holding steer? Yeah, I don't, yeah.
The D810 may not be the best sports camera with 5 FPS or 7 FPS in DX mode, but it feels pretty good. It focuses decently and accurately.
My mind has been blown all over the pavement. Ready again. I don't know why I did that. You go, girl. Okay.
However, shooting with the D800E puts things into perspective. Things have vastly improved with the D810. You can shoot for longer, has more accurate focus, and it just feels faster and sounds better. The D800E does feel a little sluggish in comparison.
So there we are. Not very good evidence, but I can tell you the D810 is quicker, but it's no sports camera. Go! I don't need to take pictures, I just want to see this again. Look, it's a bird. Let's do some serious image quality tests now. Let's find somewhere better to do this. That way, actually, maybe I shouldn't be on the... Actually, maybe I'll just walk. Ow! I can actually walk the same speed as him. Oh, this better not be the new one. Oh, shit, it's a new one. So you don't need those screen protectors.
Yeah. The D800 is tough enough to take a tumble on concrete too.
But does it shoot? Yeah. So the D810 and a D800. Let me hit my marker. don't actually have anything to say. Let's go.
To compare the sharpness of the D800E and D810, we need a subject, perhaps a little detail to focus on.
That's perfect. That's a bit easy actually.
There's no denying the images from the D810 are super crisp, but how much more crispiness does it offer?
This is fun. D810 first.
Both shots were taken using auto white balance, and the D810 seemed to have picked the better white balance here. It's also no contest when it comes to sharpness. Of course, you need to zoom in to see it, but the AA filter lacking D810 is packing the good stuff. There isn't a huge difference in noise performance. ISO 1600 and 3200 are similar. It seems like you can see that the D810 is slightly better above this ISO, but it doesn't matter because both files are already too noisy.
But there are other improvements which don't actually mean a thing. For instance, the video. Who would buy a D810 or D800 for video unless you were paid to do so? So what features are they? Power aperture in video mode. That is amazing. You can change the aperture while recording. I don't think Canon have had that for ages, have they? Plus you've got flat picture control. Yeah, pretty good. And the last thing is that you can record, you can have HDMI out and still record to memory card at the same time. But then it's still a Nikon, so it's not going to be very good for video. I didn't think of that, did they? Should have called it Canon D810.
Is the D810 a worthy upgrade? Should you buy a D810 or cut price D800 or D800E? I have to say that part of me feels a little underwhelmed about the D810 despite the key improvements.
So the main purpose, the only thing that this does really is just make you regret having purchased a D800 or D800E, because it is better. It should have been the camera that they made in the first place, but they've tweaked it. And this really is the perfect camera for those landscape people and people who look on websites for those DxO marks and stuff like that. I'll give this loads of DxO marks. DxO thumbs up.
It's hard not to feel that some of the improvements should have been what made up the D800E in the first place. The D800E seems a bit silly now. Having said that, it's still a very capable and usable camera. But ultimately, given the choice of a new D800 or even D800E, discounters or not, it surely only makes sense to go for the D810 now.